I don't know who needs to hear this, but you need to be intentional about your family. There's a very high tendency for people to care about all other areas of their lives, their spiritual life, their emotional life, their financial life, their well-being, and forget the people that are closest to them or the people that they came from, which is their family. I know people who are not on good terms with their parents, they're not on good terms with their siblings, yet all other areas of their life seems to be working for them. There's a very high tendency for people to not pay much attention to their family. But as intentional people, you need to have a good relationship with your family. That's one of the best things about life. The best things about life is to have a family and have a good relationship with them. So in this video, we are going to be talking about why it's important to have a great relationship with your family and how you can do that practically. First of all, your family is one of the most important influences in your life. You're literally born into a family. There's nobody apart from, was it Methuselah? No, it wasn't Methuselah. Melchizedek. Yeah, I'll probably have to check that again. Yeah, but every single person was born into a family. Family is the first point of contact you have with humans on earth. So they are very, very important. Like, you can't ignore the family you came from. Your family is a gift from God. God knows the reason why He put you in that particular family. You may not like them, you may not like how they are, and they may very well not be good people, but still, that's the family you got, and you have a responsibility to nurture the relationship. You have a responsibility to improve the relationship if it's not a good one. I understand how complex family dynamics can be. They can be very, very complex. You could be born in a family that treats you really badly. You could be born in an unloving family, and things can get really difficult. Things can get really tough. There have been situations where the people that have hurt you the most are your family, and it can be very painful to know that the people who should be the most caring to you are the ones who hurt you the most. And I understand how complex the family dynamic can be, but that doesn't negate the fact that as long as you have life, as long as you have breath, as long as they are still alive, there's still room to improve the relationship. There's still room for reconciliation. There's still room for forgiveness. There's still room for love. One thing that I want us to think about in this series is improving our family relationships. How are we going to do this? We're going to apply biblical principles. Okay, the Bible gives a lot of wisdom about how to navigate such relationships. I'm going to read Ephesians chapter 4 verse 2 to 3, which says, "Be completely humble and gentle, be patient, bearing with one another in love." From this scripture, we see that we need to be humble, we need to be gentle, we need to be patient, and we need to bear with one another in love. Very, very essential principles in order to have good family interaction. So let's get into some key principles that can help us improve our relationship with our family. So the first one I'm going to talk about is communication. By now, we should all know that communication is extremely essential in human existence. I'm talking to you right now, I'm communicating with you. Perchance you're going to respond. That's communication. We're having conversation. Communication is very, very important, and humans are the only creatures who are able to communicate in several ways. Okay, non-verbally, verbally, through art, through music, through a whole lot of ways, and we've even invented additional ways to communicate. So communication is very, very important, but there are people who don't communicate with their families. Like, you don't talk with your family, you don't talk with your parents don't talk to you, you don't talk with your siblings don't talk to you. I mean, that's a recipe for disaster. So you need to be more intentional about how you communicate with your family. You have to be open, you You have to be honest with them. There are ways to go about it depending on how the dynamics of the relationships are. Yes, there are ways to communicate effectively, and you have to learn that. You have to be open to that. You have to be open to sharing your thoughts, sharing your feelings with them, and allowing them to also share their thoughts and their feelings with you. So it's a two-way affair. Okay, if you're a parent or if you're a child, if you're a sibling, you have to be open to hearing what the other person thinks, and you have to also open up and share what you think. You should be slow to listen, like listen to each other, hear each other out, talk to each other, share your thoughts and your feelings respectfully but honestly. And the honesty is very, very important in this. Next thing I'm going to talk about is that we need to show empathy and understand our family members. Okay, you have to put yourself in their shoes all the time, and this is something that has really helped me a lot. Like, as a young girl growing up, I grew up with a single mom, and there were several instances where I felt I wasn't getting the things that I needed to get. Like, when I start to compare myself with my peers who had both parents taking care of them, like, I could see the things that I was lacking, and there was a tendency for me to feel inadequate or feel like she's inadequate as a mom. But in such situations, I had to put myself in her shoes. Like, if I was her, I mean, to be able to understand what she was going through, to be able to understand what she had to deal with, and to be able to understand the fact that, well, I can't have all those things, but at least I have this, and to appreciate the things that I had in the moment. So there has to be a level of empathy that you need to exercise when it comes to family. You have to try and see things from each other's perspective. If you're parents, you have to try and see things from your child's perspective. If it's your sibling, you have to try and see things from their perspective. Selfishness has to die in family. Family is like the first place where you learn how to not be selfish. You have to kill selfishness and look at things from each other's perspectives. You have to have a lot of forbearance and a lot of forgiveness stored in you, because guess what? They are always going to offend you. They're the closest people to you. They're always going to offend you. So you have to be able to forgive them when they do, and they also have to forgive you when you offend them. Another principle that you can't ignore when it comes to improving your relationship with your family is to spend quality time together. The devil fights families, yeah? What he will do is to make you so occupied with getting, doing, trying to make money, trying to survive so much that you don't even spend quality time together with your family. You don't spend quality time with people. When you get into that cycle, or when you get into that rat race where you don't have any time for anybody, it robs you of your humanity. Another thing you need to do is to show love. Serve each other. Go out of your way to do things to show love to them, to appreciate them. When somebody does something good, compliment them. When somebody provides something for you, when somebody does something for you, make sure to thank them, show appreciation to them. If it's your husband, it's your wife, your brother washed the dishes, your uncle ironed for you, make sure you appreciate them, like show them love. The last thing I'm going to say is to pray together. I haven't seen a family that prays honestly, like prays earnestly together, that falls apart. I'm yet to see that. Real prayer, or not just the rituals and the routine morning, no. Like really praying to God, really fellowshipping together in truth and in spirit. I haven't seen a family that does that fails or that falls apart. Prayer keeps people together. Prayer keeps you humble, and it invites God's presence into your home. Lastly, I want you to remember that improving your relationship with your family takes a lot of intentional effort. Whether you're a sibling, whether you're a parent, whether it's your extended family, it takes a lot of intentional effort. So don't take this for granted. It's something that you need to do. You need to develop a heart of love and understanding to be able to get this done, to be able to improve on the relationship with your family. I believe that living an intentional life should reflect in your interactions with people or your relationships with people, and it should start at home. Charity begins at home. You should start at home. You should start with the people who are closest to you in relation and in how you treat them, how they treat you, how you interact with them. So this is a very, very important part of your life you need to be paying attention to. Okay? That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. This has been day 13 of our 30 Days to Intentional Living series. I'm so glad you watched this video to the end. If you haven't watched any of the previous videos, make sure to go and watch them. Please don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe if you found any value so far. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.